Good morning, Cubicle Crashers. Happy Tuesday from beautiful British Columbia. I am officially in Canada and spending the summer here. I can say that out loud now because for a long time it was a bit of a secret because I was here to surprise some friends and family that haven't seen me for many years since I've been based in Bali, almost my 5-year anniversary. Being based in a tropical island, and it's been lovely to be home to Vancouver. I haven't spent much time here since I've left. I came down here for Christmas for a couple of weeks 2 years ago, but it feels really, really good to kind of put some roots down this time around and stay for the summer. And Vancouver, if you're from here, you know summer is the most gorgeous place to be in. I'm not too much of a winter girl myself, so summer works well for me. And I've been really lucky to find a beautiful apartment by English Bay, which is my favorite part of the West End in Vancouver, and being able to integrate myself into the lifestyle here for the summer. So that's really, really awesome. I've also been sort of walking around the neighborhoods that I used to walk in. It's been such a nostalgic walk down memory lane. Where I used to live when I was working for someone back in the day was around the same neighborhood. I walked by my old apartment, walked even the route that I usually take to work, which is right in the downtown core. And it was really good to sort of retrace my steps back of what my life was about 6 years ago, when I first took my leap into entrepreneurship and all the lessons that I've learned along the way and what would I've done differently, and also what I would have stopped worrying about back in the day when I didn't know what I knew today. And it's sort of very fitting for what we're about to commence here at Screw the Cubicle, which is starting our free live 5-day challenge on helping you guys kickstart your side hustle, which is going to be starting on July 16th of next week. And you get to learn and get coached with from me live with a bunch of people that are like-minded like you, that have had dreams to escape their corporate job, but want to do it safely, practically, and also intelligently, so that you're not worrying and having anxiety like I did when I first decided to quit my cube. One of the biggest things that I know stops people, and this is definitely part of my own story as I was thinking about it this morning, as well, walking down that same trek to work, or my old work anyway, is that there were so many beliefs about my own capabilities, what I knew how to do that could make money beyond what I was used to in my resume. I was sort of a Jill of all trades. You know, if you looked at my resume, it looked like it was probably for about 5 different people. And that's a very typical multi-passionate person, what sometimes people call multi-potentialite, someone that it's pretty general in some of their skill sets. And for people like me, and if you can relate to that, it can definitely bring up a lot of sense of insecurity about what it is that you can confidently go forth with, that you can be a consultant on, or have a freelance career on, or make any money really doing it on your own. And that was definitely one of my first questions before I took the leap, or even entertained the idea of taking the leap, was that what was the role that I would then be stepping into to replace my income at my 9 to 5. So I know that's a huge question for lots of people that's been pondering that leap, but not having clarity about what business they should start or what work they would want to do that is going to be meaningful, financially rewarding, and personally fulfilling. It's not an easy one to answer sometimes when you haven't taken the time to sort of take inventory around your experience. And that big question is something that we're trying to answer with you at the 5-day Kickstart Your Side Hustle Challenge happening next week, because I know how important that self-confidence is for you. It certainly was for me, to know that answer and to have clarity around that focus so that I could have a practical thing to leap into and start working on that while I was still working full time. And that's sort of what we try to teach our corporate escape students as well, whether it's in this challenge or in any of our programs, is that the best time to actually be working on a business is when you are in a full-time gig. In the baseline of survival needs, right? Maslow's hierarchy of needs, you need to put a roof over your head. You need to feed yourself. You need to feel safe in those conditions to even be looking at what creative projects you can start, and feeling creativity isn't born from anxiety. Creativity is a very free place to be. It needs ease and flow to get into it. So you sort of need to take care of yourself on a practical level first and really make those changes happen in your life in safe conditions. So that's what we're all going to talk about as well during the Kickstart Your Side Hustle Challenge, is some of these practical things to get ready for when you think about moving on from employee to entrepreneurship. One of the big questions we're going to be answering, which is mine, definitely a big fear of mine, is money. How much money do I need to save up before I quit my job? How do I make income as a side hustle before I quit my job? How do I do it all in conjunction with a full-time job and keep my sanity? So these are some of the big discussion points we're going to be having at the 5-day challenge. And I want you to bring those questions over to this challenge, because I think it's important to talk about these fears, to actually not say, oh, I should just be brave and jump for it and go for it. Now, most of you guys, I think, are like me. I'm a calculated risk person. Even though, Screw the Cubicle, the name could seem like, oh, she just sort of goes for it. No, I come from like a really traditional immigrant family that has taught me the value of a dollar and how much to be safe in the decisions that I've made. So I've had to unlearn a lot of old conditionings from my childhood. But also, to be honest, I'm just kind of built where I do take risks, but I take calculated risks. And it's important to me to actually set safe conditions for myself to be brave. Right? And most of you, I think, are like that. You're not I want to jump off a cliff and I hope the parachute opens kind of people. Right? And if you're that person, so much more this challenge is for you, because this is sort of who I am too. I am someone that wants you to create these safe conditions so that you do feel brave to make these brave and bold changes in your life, but you ain't going to do it unless you look at your finances, unless you really look at what it is you're leaping into and feel not just inspired to take that leap, but ready and prepared. And that's going to be, the ticket to either make sure that your dreams become reality or they still remain sort of a back burner dream. Right? And that's not what I want you to have the rest of this year thinking about. So we're going to be talking all about the mistakes that I've made when taking my own leap. But a lot of the content for this 5-day Kickstart Your Side Hustle Challenge is really based on some common obstacles that majority of people that I've worked with in the last 6 years experience as a human. And it's not always everything to do with just, I don't have business skills. Now, there's always gaps in information and skills and knowledge that we have to obtain when we are going somewhere different in our lives. It's no different for me either every time I make changes in my life. But we need to also be also thinking about our personal lives. How do we get ourselves emotionally ready for change? How do we enroll our communities, our spouses, our families, our friends into this goal so that they support us through this transition? And how do we do it without setting our old life on fire? Because you don't need to do that. There's lots of beautiful things that you get to experience right now being employed. We are very lucky in the first world and a lot of other people in the world that have jobs, and even if it's not a job that you absolutely are passionate about or love, it's paying the bills and it's helping you keep your life comfortable. And from this place, we are lucky and should have gratitude around having opportunities to be able to work on something on the side. And that's what I'm encouraging you to do in this 5-day side hustle challenge, is to not set your house on fire or your resume on fire, but actually to be leveraging things you already know about yourself, your knowledge, your experience, what you already come with as assets, and being able to flex that creativity muscle to start feeling what it feels like to be independent and making choices around how you make a living on the side while you're still working full time. And when that side hustle becomes the primary breadwinner of your jobs, that's when you can quit, and that's when you can start making changes in your work life to accommodate this new business. But in the meantime, where you are, we need to do things safely, practically, and in a way that keeps you interested and have deep interest in the work that you're building. So this is going to be my first ever live challenge that I'm running, but I'm really excited to run it because each 5 days, if you look at, if you click on the link for the Kickstart Your Side Hustle Challenge, you'll see that we're really diving deep into things that is first the human side of you, right? All the fears and beliefs you come with, what's been in between where you are and where you want to go in terms of your dreams for your career and your lifestyle. We have lots of fears, and it's not good to just ignore them. Let's really look at them together and really understand what we have to do on a practical level to ease those fears, to do things actually logically, so that your heart and your brain together can be coming for the ride, for the leap, rather than this resistance that we feel every time we want to do something new in our lives. So let's face those fear-mongering monsters. Let's set better conditions and boundaries for you to make changes in your life without screaming, anxiety constantly. And you'll start to notice that when we do this challenge together, especially on day one, all about fears and belief systems and how we change that, you'll notice that a lot of people around that challenge will have really similar fears. You're not alone. You're not a weirdo. Okay. We all come with very similar fears. We will also be talking about money. We're going to be talking about something that trumps people for a long time when they don't make a move on their lives, is because they are fearful of going broke, right? Being on the streets, if you will. And how do we do this again safely? And how do you look at your money to make sure that you are saving and budgeting well for your escape plan, but also using your money intelligently, not spending on things that no longer give you the experience that you want in your life, and instead to be leveraging things that you do make, money you do make in your life, to enhance and invest into your future as an independent worker, as a business owner, whatever it is that is your dream. Let's make money work for us rather than to be trapped by it or controlled by it. And then we're going to move on for the next remainder of the 3 days of the 5 days into really what business will you be building? What are the steps to really launch a side hustle? I'll be sharing my 6 proven step system that I use repeatedly with all my retreats, all my one-on-one coaching clients, basically anyone that I've worked with. We go through a really similar process of ideation, testing and validating your ideas, and learning how to talk about your work, find clients, and start making money from your side hustle. But not only just making money off anything, and I think this is what's really important to really work on when we're doing this together next week, is finding a focus that you have deep interest in. And that counts for something, by the way. Deep interest counts for sustainability, the longevity of your effort and energy being spent on something, and something that you feel that is meaningful. And I think that is important to a lot of us that don't just want to work for the sake of working, but really use work as a way of expressing ourselves, as a way of contributing into society, and feeling good about making money in a way that we know, not just rewards us financially, but there's a ripple effect of contribution or purpose in the work that we're creating. That part really excites me, when people not only do what they love, but they do something that is actively being needed and it solves great problems in the world. So if any of that perks your interest, I would love for you to come on board with me live next week. We have a private Facebook group that will be set up for anyone who signs up. You can say hello to me now, real early, tell me a bit more about yourself, and we get to spend all week together next week, 5 full days of really helping you transition from that corporate employee mindset to a much more independent, whether it's location independent business or just you want to have more time for yourself or autonomy over your work. We want to get you there to this stage of a mindset so that you can feel there are possibilities around you rather than just what you think you need to learn more about in order to start. So I want to kickstart that inspiration for you and know that you can do it with us, not do it alone, and meet other like-minded corporate escapees or wannabe corporate escapees that also want the dream lifestyle that you are seeking for. So I hope you join me next week. We start officially July 16th. We go live every day for the live stream training, but don't worry if you're in a weird time zone. Actually, I shouldn't say weird. You're not in my time zone. And you think you're going to miss out on some of the trainings. Everything is recorded and there's a replay to it. I'm in there the whole time in the group for questions and mentorship the entire 5 days. So even if you don't join us live, there's always ways to ask me questions after the live stream goes live. And we have all these great support materials to help walk you through those 5 steps together. I'm really excited to see you. And tell a friend. If there's someone that you know that also has dreams of leaving their cubicle or being wanting to make a bit of money on the side that's not dependent on just their 9 to 5 job, having more autonomy, right, over the ways that they make a living, invite them to this free challenge, and you guys can do it together. The more people, the merrier, and the more like-minded communities we can bring together, the better as well. Okay, can't wait to see you guys. Link is above this video. I'll post it in the comments as well, so you have easy access to it. And I can't wait to guide you on our 5-day challenge to kickstart your side hustle. See you there.